The topic is called multiplicative property of equality with sign fractions. And we're just going to stop right there and say the word multiplicative. Like literally, it is the coolest word ever, and it feels so cool to just say it. So just pause the video, say multiplicative. It's pretty awesome. So equality, when you see property of equality, that just means there's going to be an equal sign. There's an equation. All equations have an equal sign, and we are normally going to be solving for a variable. And sign fractions, that just means there's going to be fractions involved, and they'll be both positive. They could be positive or negative. So in this problem, the very first thing you want to do is look and see. Oh wait, P.S. Please subscribe to my channel, like any videos that are helpful, and you're welcome to leave comments also for me. So we first have to look at the equal sign. Find where the variable is. Is it on the left side of the equal sign or the right side? In this case, it's on the right side. So we're solving for x. Now, sometimes people really like to have their variables on the left. That's okay because these two things are equal. We can swap sides if you like. So we have a negative 5, 6x equals negative 35. Now, I want to just kind of stop for a second, and we're going to kind of pull away from this problem so I can kind of show you why we do what we're going to be doing. So we actually want 1x. We don't want negative 5, 6x, we want 1. So in order to get 1, when you have a fraction, and we want a positive one, so we're going to times it by a negative number, so it's positive in the end. We want this to be 1. When you have fractions, when you multiply by their reciprocal, now reciprocal just means you're turning the fraction upside down. So you're moving the numerator to the denominator to the numerator. So when we multiply reciprocals together, we get 1. So we're going to switch the 6 and the 5. When we multiply, if you just multiply straight across, you'll get a positive 30 divided by 30, and that equals 1. So we're going to time this negative 5, 6x by a negative 6 fifths. This will give us a 1x, which is exactly what we want. Now, we can't just go multiplying one side of an equation willy-nilly with a number. We have to multiply the other side also. So we're going to times by negative 6 fifths. Sometimes multiplying a whole number by a fraction can get confusing. So what we're going to do is you can put a 1 under the negative 35, and then we just multiply like we normally do. Now, I do like to cancel if I can because that helps my math not be as hard. So I'll show you what canceling is, but what we're going to do in the numerator, they're both negative, so our answer is going to be positive. We're going to take our 35 and we're going to times it by 6, and then we're going to divide by 5. It's okay to divide 35 by 5 first before we multiply by 6. So we can divide 5 by 5 and get 1. 35 by 5 gives us 7. So we have 7 times 6 divided by 1. And when you divide by 1, you just get what's in the numerator. So it's 7 times 6, or 42. So our x is equal to 42 in this case. Okay, we'll do another one. We're just going to go straight into multiplying by the reciprocal of a fraction if there is a fraction. Okay, so here we have, there's not a fraction here in front of the u. However, we can take the reciprocal of 7. So 7 is actually the same thing as 7 over 1, and the reciprocal is going to be 1 over 7. So let's do that instead of trying to divide by 7. And then we have this fraction that we're going to be trying to divide by 7, which then we have to multiply by the reciprocal. Let's just straight up multiply by the reciprocal first. So we're going to multiply by 1 over 7. Again, remember that 7's over 1 in case that whole number thing's messing you up. So this becomes 1u. Now we're going to take our negative 14 thirds, and we also have to times that by 1/7. And the answer is going to be negative. And if you can cancel, I would do it. 7 goes into itself once and into 14, 2. And 2 times 1 is 2, and 3 times 1 is 3. So the answer is negative 2 thirds. So put a negative, our fraction symbol, 2 thirds. Okay, so let's do another one. I kind of like to just multiply by reciprocals regardless of if it's a whole number or not, because we start dealing with fractions and decimals, so may as well. So guess what? This one looks like negative 5x over 4, which is exactly what's written. However, we can write write it as negative 5/4 times x. That's the same thing as negative 5x over 4. So now we have this, kind of pulled that fraction away from the x to help us in our problem solving. So we're going to multiply by a negative 4/5. Again, we want to multiply by the reciprocal of the fraction that is next to the variable, negative 4/5. So our answer is going to be positive because we have two negatives multiplied. Put that 1 there in case you need to do that still. That's okay. 5 goes into itself once and into 35 7 times. So because we have 1 in the denominator, the answer is just going to be 7 times 4, or 28. And that will be the end of our lesson.